the sacred union that unites two souls into a lifelong journey. On the 2nd of December...
Wait, that's not AI, is it? Why does that...
Behold, the sacred union that unites two souls into a lifelong journey.
That sounds like AI, bro. Did they start using AI now in the videos? No, this is the guy that they used. I'm not a fan of either. What's he talking about there?
With Abrahamic religion, there are a whole bunch of things that you're not supposed to do or even think about.
Okay, I thought he was talking about... Maybe it isn't AI. Maybe he just has like a very neutral... I feel like I've psyoped myself a little bit into thinking everything is AI.
Behold, the sacred union that unites two souls into a lifelong journey. On the 2nd of December of 2017.
Maybe they like... I'm pretty sure I saw this on Reddit, maybe. I think maybe he sold his voice to this company. So they still credit him? I'm not sure.
Amelia and Joshua got married. They danced through the night to their favorite love songs.
Yo,
which
they got
consisted primarily
animations!
of Ed Sheeran.
They got animations! Oh my god, the budget has gone through the roof.
Then continued the celebration in their luxury hotel room that was overlooking the river.
Thank you, GLaDOS, for the 6 months.
They moved to Florida, bought a house, and absolutely loved it. Except the only issue was that it didn't have a nice enough...
Sweden.
You gave the... Dude, they actually got the bigger budget. I like how all the props just aren't even... These are like clip paint. It's not even part of the actual background.
Kitchen. So they decided to commit first-degree fraud. You see, both Amelia and Joshua worked at the bank. Josh was a loan recovery officer, the person from the bank that calls you up to politely
Mr.
threaten
Twitch
you
old
about
head here that still unironically uses KEKW. Saw your latest Pyrocynical TV slop video. Thanks for calling me the guy at the bottom. I know I am a bottom. Much love.
I know you're a bottom.
Thank you for streaming today,
Charlie.
Pyro. I need some slop to take my mind off of my white-collar crime homework.
Thank you, Cannonball, for the 10. Good luck with the homework. They have improved their animations so much, by the way. Like, this is so much more interactive. That's crazy. I reckon they saw that, like, they've got so much competition now.
your overdue payments. Amelia was a bank teller.
Oh, there's that one as well. What is that?
So I screenshot.
I'll come back to that. Oh, apparently this Radel guy mentioned me again in his video. I'll go over that.
Meaning she took care of regular transactions, such as depositing checks or withdrawing money for her customers. And one of these customers was an elderly man called Gerald Stack. Gerald had informed Amelia that he had sustained a traumatic brain injury and therefore was easily confused and forgetful. So Amelia initially began helping him out, even with things outside of her job, such as bringing him groceries or managing errands. But then her husband found out and came up with the idea to steal $50,000 from her client's bank account, hoping he wouldn't notice, asserting that the money would go towards buying a new kitchen. Amelia then
Just stealing from someone to get a new kitchen. That is actual Sims 2 behavior.
proceeded with the plan by writing herself 2 checks from Gerald's account for $25,000 each. And then, as expected, Gerald didn't notice. So they began enjoying life being 50 grand richer, assuming their plan had actually come to fruition. But exactly 15 weeks later, Amelia's phone rang. On the other end was Gerald's 52-year-old daughter's
50 grand is not a lot, by the way. Like, if you want to get a whole new kitchen, and I imagine that these people would want the best kitchen imaginable with all the good appliances, I don't even know if 50 grand would cover that.
Cynthia asked.
I know I sound really out of touch saying that because $50,000 is a lot of money, but getting a kitchen done out with all the right equipment and stuff is it's mad expensive. People don't understand how much kitchens are.
Asking for a transaction history on her father's bank account and
It's 80s money. They never said this is in the 80s.
why there was $50,000 missing. Amelia's response was that she couldn't give out too much information because Cynthia wasn't the account holder, but she assured her she would look into it thoroughly and get back to her. Cynthia would then leave multiple missed calls on Amelia's phone over the next 3 days. But on day 4, the call
I'm rage baiting. Yeah, a little bit.
stopped coming in.
A little bit. I mean, getting your kitchen done out is probably about, I would say about 15K. I would say 15, 20K. Definitely.
On July 18th, 2018, Cynthia and her 23-year-old son, Sean, were found shot to death in their apartment. Forensics went through Cynthia's call history and very quickly uncovered the situation with Amelia and the stolen money.
It's crazy when you see the pictures that are professionally done. They look so, like, beautiful, right? And then when you get the actual mugshot, they just always just look disheveled. Like, every time.
They already had enough evidence to charge her with fraud.
Like, I get it. Like, oh my god, are you telling me a professionally done picture with makeup looks better than mugshots? That's not the point I'm trying to make. It's more just how, like, it's always straight after the crime when the picture gets taken. They almost just look like completely different people. You know how you see those, like, people, like, before and after, like, heroin or alcohol and stuff like that? It's like that.
And send her to jail. But they were far more interested in Josh, their prime suspect in the murders. They had an eyewitness account from a neighbor that placed someone matching his description at the scene. And they also discovered that he had recently purchased a gun from a pawn shop. But this wasn't enough to charge him with murder, which is why they needed a confession. And the primary objective was to obtain it from Amelia. Their interrogations began 9 days after the murders on July 26th. Josh was arrested at work, while Amelia was arrested at their home. She was brought in first at 11:30 a.m.
He's off now or no?
Once the detective gets in here, take it.
I'm happy they didn't change this subtitling, by the way, with the big bold outline, because I feel like that is part of their, like, brand. Because they've obviously updated their visuals so much, but...
Should be long.
Can I stand up at least? Because I'm comfortable.
Just do that. Hang on. I'll be right back.
Okay. Why am I here?
Looking for cameras. Looking for cameras.
Hey, Amelia, you want to stand up? I'll get those off of you.
Yeah.
All right, my partner's coming right back. We'll be right with you, okay?
It's good that they've got the timer on there as well, because it is just a reminder, like, 20 minutes! That jump! How many seasons of Breaking Bad did I miss? It went straight from 4 minutes to, like, 20.
Hey, they got those off you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Here, I brought you some water.
I got you some water, you little murderer.
All right, Amelia.
I always find it really comedic how much cops switch up. They always open up being so nice, and then it's like, yeah, you did it. Yeah, you did it. Because I remember watching these interrogations like years ago, and it's like, what they do is police are very manipulative to get what they want, but also it's justified because they're dealing with who they believe to be a murderer. But JCS did a video years ago talking about, like, well, showing people that were completely innocent. They didn't do anything wrong, and the police still treat them like they're guilty. And then police can lie, and police can, like, psyop you and be like, you know, oh, you were there. We saw you. We got the footage. We got the tapes. We got you on CCTV. Like, they can just lie at their fucking ass with no proof, hoping that you crack. It's like manipulation against manipulation. But obviously, when it's applied to someone that is innocent, it just makes the cops look just evil.
Obviously, you want to know what's going on. And, you know, we want to talk to you about some stuff.
Okay.
So, let me...
Maybe change the title. Oh, yeah, it's called Holy Base, just talking about a murder. Hang on. Yeah, let me change it. Yeah, done. All right. Yeah, just Holy Base, talking about a murder.
Start at the beginning. I'm going to record everything. This way we don't miss anything, all right? All right.
Am I, like, getting arrested or something for something? Or...
We're going to explain it to you.
Yeah, we'll explain it all to you, okay?
Am I getting arrested as she's arrested with a zip tie on her back in an interrogation room? Smartest criminal. This could be the smartest perpetrator in the JCS video.
They collect Amelia's basic information, her home address and phone number.
Yeah, I think that voice is AI. Can someone, mods, can you try and find something on that about the JCS? Can you find someone on Reddit complaining about that? Because usually if there's someone on Reddit complaining about it, then the reply usually will be someone providing a link or context to yes, it's true, no, it's not.
The situation is insane.
Snubnose. Thank you, Bird, for the 10. Because I feel like this is AI, but if he's not crying about it on his channel, he's probably sold his rights. He probably got paid like a fat sum of money to get his voice used.
All right, Amelia. We got to go over these with you, okay? Because you were brought here the way you were brought here, all right? I want to talk to you. There's always two sides to every story. You understand what I'm saying? And obviously, we have one side of a story right now, and that's why you're sitting here. So we want to get the other side of the story, okay? But for us to talk to you, I want to make sure I go over your rights with you. And
talk to her.
You understand those rights, okay? And if you have any questions about any of these, you make sure you ask me, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, you have the right to remain silent. Do you understand?
Sure.
Is that yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Any questions about that? No?
I'm
Okay.
just, okay, I just starts is like someone getting in trouble or arrested or something.
Well, we just, like I said, we want to be able to talk to you. All right, and this is the right way to
Talk
do
to
that.
her.
And I'm sure
Talk to her.
there could be a very reasonable explanation as to why you're here.
Yeah.
All right, but we have to talk to you about that. Okay.
Talk to her.
Okay.
Like I said, we only have one side of a story. When we have
Okay,
one
I'll
side,
stop,
we
I'll
have to
stop,
go
I'll
on
stop.
that until we have the other side of the story. Okay.
Yeah.
But just because these are your rights, I want to make sure you understand them. Okay. It's just for us to be able to talk to each other.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Anything you say may be used against you in court. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So how long have you lived at that house over there?
We moved in June, either June or July. We just purchased that home.
Okay.
He asks Amelia what she does for work. She clarifies that she works at Chase as a bank teller.
Okay, so you work for Chase.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How long you work for Chase for?
December will be
She thinks she's there for fraud only.
3 years, I believe, or 4 years. I'm not too sure. 3 or 4 years. Yeah.
Any issues while you're working at Chase?
I will say, by the way, these interrogation cameras always do the cops so dirty. Like, if you have a bald spot on your crown, it's over for you.
No, I got a write-up recently.
You did?
Yeah.
What happened?
When was this, in May?
Mm-hmm.
I issued 2 checks for a customer, and I got a write-up for that because they weren't in the branch.
Okay.
But other than that, I've been...
All right. So, Amelia, I can tell you the reason why we're here today is because of that issue with the bank.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Does that surprise you?
For this type of situation, yeah.
Okay.
Like this intense. I mean, I got in trouble at work, which makes sense, but I'm just confused about this.
Well, let's walk through it a little bit, okay? Let's walk through that and see how maybe we came here today, all right, and find out if this was just a misunderstanding or what, okay? So, what was the name of the customer?
Gerald.
Okay.
Mr. Gerald.
So what happened with this write-up? So, I mean, had you been a banker for him for a while? I mean...
Yeah, so I've been
Did she game in the guy or what? I think the boyfriend did it, but she could be like accessory to murder.
a banker since I moved here.
But we're basically just waiting for the point where he jump scares her and he's like, I know you did it.
Did you... Okay.
Since we moved here.
So what happened with these checks?
Nothing. He called him. I have the record over our global security. So when they came in, they pulled like call logs, they pulled like cameras, just to make sure like they pulled signature files.
Amelia tries to use imprecise workplace terminology to confuse the detectives. She basically suggests that a security check has already been carried out by her bank, finding no misconduct or malpractice, which is incorrect. She could no longer deal with Gerald's account, and an internal investigation was still ongoing at the time of her arrest.
And that was it. I mean, that happened since March. That was...
And when you talk to Gerald, I mean...
She's talking like she's giving a class presentation.
How did he appear to you? Is he a young guy, old guy?
He's old.
Oh, how did he appear to you when you talked to him?
He's okay.
Talk
He
to
was
her.
okay?
Yeah.
Did you ever have any issues when you talked to him about remembering things or anything like that?
No, he told me he had brain... Like, I know like a little about himself. Like, he had brain surgery. But for the most part, he remembers things. I don't think he forgets.
While I'm
anything.
stuck in traffic, thought I should bully you. Took you a week to relapse. Bravo.
Like you June jumper for the 10.
How did you draw these 2 checks?
Yeah.
Okay. How much were they worth?
$25,000 each.
What did he have you do? Like, what did he ask for?
Nothing. It's just we put 2 checks and $25,000 each, and that was it.
She doesn't clarify where the money was sent, and seems to think that being ambiguous enough will prompt the detectives to move past it, which is obviously ridiculous. They will now initiate the first confrontation.
Really, you've never
The first confrontation, he just puts a loaded gun on the table. So you're going to be honest with us?
been arrested for, is that correct?
No, sir.
You have a 7-year-old son, is that right?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to take your 7-year-old son away from you. I'm going to throw him in the gulag. Unless you come clean with me right now! Wait, my mouse broke. Oh, wait.
Let me explain something to you, Amelia.
Okay.
All right. We've talked to Gerald. All right. Gerald can't barely tell you what day it is. Okay. So, and anybody who talks to him should know that. So, if he asked you to do that, there's 2 things. There's 2 problems we have here, isn't there? Let's start talking. Let's agree with each other. There's 2 problems, don't you think?
See, this is what he's going to do. He's just going to cap and lie and be like, oh yeah, no. Gerald snitched on you, by the way.
Okay.
Over the
I
next
had a
8
dream a
minutes,
few
Amelia
weeks ago, where I saw you at a convention. You were walking outside, holding a comically large bowl of pickles, handing them to basically everyone, and some of your subs were occasionally refilling the bowl.
Thank you, Bastian, for the 10. Very normal dream to have there. Very normal dream. I like that.
Confesses to the theft, but the Orange County Police have redacted the footage, albeit leaving 2 tiny segments.
You see now?
But it's not like I don't want to make it. Okay.
No.
Oh, wait, they redacted this?
Okay.
Over the next 8 minutes, Amelia confesses to the theft, but the Orange County Police have redacted the footage, albeit leaving 2 tiny segments.
You see now?
But it's not like I don't want to make it. Okay.
No.
I don't want to say I took advantage of him because he's a really nice guy.
The footage resumes.
Yeah, you see that? You see that footage as well there where he's like leaning in? Like he's putting so much pressure onto her. I mean, I get it. She like we could find out that she's accessory to murder or even did it herself. Fair enough. But yeah, just the tactics they use to psyop you are insane. That's why they always put the chair right next to you. Like he might as well just be sitting on her lap, literally. And they always do that leaning forward kind of thing. And then that was like, oh, no, don't say that. Don't say that.
The footage resumes shortly after the confession. What you need to know is the detective has just asked Amelia about her last correspondence with Cynthia, which is only for the purpose of shifting the focus of the interrogation onto her husband.
Last time...
Hey Pyro, you should show us your Spotify Wrapped on stream.
I've shown it on Twitter. It's on my Twitter.
Last week...
Thank you for the 10, Carlos.
I believe. And I haven't heard from her since, so...
Okay. Does anybody else talk to Cindy that you know? No?
Just me.
Okay. And Josh, did he ever talk
Jumbo
to him?
Josh.
No. He never spoke to him.
Jumbo Josh. Got on a ban ban.
He doesn't even know who they are.
Okay. Would he have been at their house?
Him? He doesn't even know where they live. I don't even know where they live.
It's possible Josh went over there and you didn't know?
I mean, how would he know where they live, though?
That's not the question I was asking. Is it possible that he went over there?
Not that I know, no.
So you can't say for sure he did or didn't?
I can say no.
How
To my
can you say
knowledge.
no?
Because he doesn't know he doesn't know them.
Do you think it's unusual that Cindy hasn't called you since then? Do you think she just stopped?
Well, she had told me that she was going to reach back out to me Friday.
So today's Thursday. It's been almost a week. And she hasn't reached out to you at all. Have you reached out to her? How come?
I was going to call her.
Why did he tilt his head like, how come? How come, huh? Huh? You lying? You lying, huh? Huh? Murderer?
But she told me that she was going
Murderer says what? What? Oh, guilty. Put the cuffs on.
to call me. But I told her that I was going on vacation.
The investigator will now bring the discussion to Josh's whereabouts last Wednesday, the day Sean and Cynthia were murdered.
Did you,
It is a bit cringe with police interrogation. You can so tell that they've all read the same book. And it's just like, lean forward when you want to get answers. Like, whenever a cop, like, retracts back into their chair, it is just like, I don't care. I can't be asked.
was there any night? I mean, does he normally go out?
The JCS drama situation is crazy, just got worse, is over depressing at 3 a.m. challenge free V-Buck Amazon gift card giveaway.
What is that buzzword? Thank you, receding hairline for the 10.
So you guys go out.
Wait, what?
Did he go out without you at one point in time?
He went to Daytona.
What night?
Went to Daytona either Wednesday or Thursday.
The victims were murdered on the Wednesday in Orlando. Daytona is an hour's drive away.
Wednesday or Thursday.
He went to Daytona? What did you go to Daytona for?
I don't know.
She asserts they got in a fight and he just left and turned his phone off the entire night.
And when was the last time before that you had a fight where you went to Daytona?
I'm really sorry. I want to, like...
What do you go to Daytona for?
I don't know.
I want to just go over something right now. I really do think that's AI. Let's go on like an older video.
When forensic health professionals evaluate stalking, 4 essential items are taken into consideration. The nature of the relationship between the stalker and the victim.
That's human.
Asserts they got in a fight and he just left and turned his phone off the entire night.
I don't know. It does sound a bit... Immediately noticed the new JCS video was made with AI narration. It sours the whole thing. I totally called it. Well, the tone is way off. Yeah. I guess they just can't get the guy to do it all the time, so they just paid him a fat bag to, like, just get his voice, basically. So it's like a James L. Jones thing.
The last time before that, you had a fight where you went to Daytona.
I don't really mind it. Like, the guy's old, right? Maybe he doesn't have the time or, like, the energy to voice these long videos. As long as he's paid, right? And as long as he didn't sign some contract that's screwing him out of his money, you know.
Maybe a couple weeks before that.
What's in Daytona that
And then
he
just went too. He went this week too again.
Where is he going in Daytona?
I have no clue.
She asserts that Josh left midday and returned at roughly 9 a.m. the next morning, claiming to have been out with his
Hey
friends.
Pyro,
The second
I'm suffering from depression due to not having any friends and working a 9 to 5. My high school crush confessed to me 5 years ago and I never got to confess to her back. Last week she blocked me simply for liking her story. I am very suicidal, RN.
Holy. Well, thank you, Brian, for the 45. That's a lot of money. I appreciate that. Oh god. I gotta have a therapy session now. I don't know, maybe she got a bit spooked that you liked the story because it's been so long. I don't know. But yeah, that sucks to hear. I don't know. I get messages like this a lot. It's like, oh, I'm lonely. I don't really have anyone to speak to. Who do I speak to? How do I talk to her? But it's like, there are always people to speak to, but it's like your brain is like the best thing you can have in the world, but it is also the worst prison you can have in the world. If you're in a good headspace, you can do anything in the world. You are literally like you are like a Saints Row character with mods on, bro. You can do anything you want in the world. You can take up any sport, like any hobby, anything. But then, like, if you're in a closed mindset and you're just like punishing yourself at the time and you feel depressed, you feel sad, you can't do anything. You feel like you can't do anything. You know, because I'm assuming, I have no idea, but I'm assuming you're someone that has full use of, like, your arms, your legs, your brain. Like, you could basically do anything you want in this world. You shouldn't spend that time punishing yourself over things that have happened years ago. Because you've mentioned there 5 years ago that happened, so it's pretty obvious that you're still, like, you know, beating yourself up over it and you're still punishing yourself. Like, definitely don't do that. Like, looking back into the past and stuff is just one of the worst things you can do. Like, you literally have the opportunity right now to do anything you want in the world, bro. Anything you want. Anything. And it might not sound like it now because of, like, your closed mindset. And you're probably in this phase of, oh, I don't like myself. Oh, I don't, you know, because I hear people sometimes that, like, they're that depressed that they don't even want to, like, brush their teeth and stuff. They go, like, months without brushing their teeth because they just don't care about self-care because they feel like they're not worth anything. But again, every day is always another opportunity to do something else and to reinvent yourself. And some days you might fall off the horse and stuff, right? And you might slip and then you might go back into the depression. And that's normal. You might relapse, and that's normal. But there are always people you can talk to. Like, people outside when you're going out on a walk. Bro, this sounds cringe. Even joining, like, a Discord server of something that you like if there's a Discord server for a video game or, like, a film or something that you like, right? Like, join that and get talking to people. We are in, like, the era right now where it could not ever be easier to talk to someone and communicate and open up that line of dialogue. Like, you need to just think to yourself, like, the possibilities of what you can do right now are endless. Don't beat yourself up over something that happened 5 years ago. Because that, you're basically just stunlocking yourself more than Hassan Piker reading chat. When you could actually, like, be doing great things. Okay, the gay story's over. Back to the video.
Will now contribute and engage the suspect from a completely different angle.
You know, before.
Okay, I want someone to clip that, and I want a Hope Core edit, because if Jinxie can do it, Jinxie, the Siege React Andy, then I can get my own Hope Core edit, okay? If I don't see that on TikTok as a Hope Core edit with 2 million views, I am never streaming again. Anyway.
Don't mind me. Just enjoying myself watching Pyrocynical before he gets cancelled like MKBHD, Mr. Beast and some ordinary gamers.
Normal donor, thank you, WR for the 10.
Before we met today, we obviously researched some things, and your relationship with Matthew was abusive. Would you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Matthew is Amelia's ex-boyfriend.
How's your relationship with Joshua?
I mean, we fight a lot.
When was the last time?
Like, nothing crazy, like 2 weeks ago.
What happened 2 weeks ago?
He went through, I went out with a few friends, and...
Murtaha got cancelled when? I just hear... I don't know if it got cancelled. I just hear every week a subreddit attacks him, which is pretty much the same for all YouTubers. I know that he made a video on Nux Taku and then he took the video down. That's pretty much it. I really try to not look into that part of the commentary scene, I'll be honest.
Yes, someone texted me and he like flipped out.
Has his behavior changed recently?
Mm-mm.
No? Has he ever threatened to kill you?
Mm-mm.
You ever seen him?
My manager just DM'd me and he said therapy clip farming. That's crazy. Look, I need to ask for the clip farming, okay? Because I'm not queso, where 90% of my viewer base are women that post their Spotify Wrapped in it, Chappelle Roan, okay? I need to ask for this to happen. Because the women take the initiative. People here don't do that, okay?
Any violent tendencies other than...
He gets really angry.
Okay.
He like yells.
What happens when he gets really angry?
I mean, he yells really loud.
Chappelle Roan.
Like, punches stuff, like the wall.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I will
Are we
blame...
safe to assume that Julian's the most important person in your life?
I will blame le partner.
Absolutely, 100%.
All right. Are you scared of Josh?
No.
If he did something wrong that put your...
Pyro really had something good going, helping to admit. I'm having a stroke. Pyro really had something good going, helping, but then he just admitted it was clip farming. I mean, I admitted it was clip farming because if I break character and I give genuine advice, people are just going to call me gay. So it's spinning plates, right? Like if I be genuine on stream, like people are just going to say that that's cringe. So there's always got to be like a layer of irony to it. Like I don't think that was clip farming. Like that was genuine advice that I gave. You know, your mind is like the most powerful thing you've got, bro. Like it can genuinely be like your best asset or your worst enemy. And there are ways that you can do to help balance that. Like, for example, working out more, eating the right stuff. You know, I know everyone says that, right? But it's those basics that help, like, fuel your brain. I mean, like, look at the link that your gut microbiome has to your brain. It's like they call your stomach, like, your second brain. There's so many little things that you can do to, like, get a better outlook. Like, little changes that you can do. And it won't appeal to everyone. It won't apply to everyone, sure.
I legit found my girlfriend on Discord. There is always hope in talking to others, brothers, you just need to keep trying.
Average Pyro fan got his partner off Discord based. I'm not even against that, bro. I'm not even against that, genuinely. Like, people say the whole Discord dating scene is cringe. You do whatever makes you happy. Just do whatever makes you happy, seriously.
Your son and your
you get your bag, you get your mental health, and then you get your Discord kitten.
son's future and your future in jeopardy.
Brothers, we will prevail.
Would you tell us about it?
Of course.
Okay. That's all I got, Pete.
I got a few more things. Like Detective Murray said, I think you're kind of at this crossroads right now, okay? You've got Josh, who you probably love, and he's your husband, okay? But you also have Julian. And you got to picture that little boy. You got to picture not being able to watch him grow up. Think about that for a second. Think about being put somewhere very far away from him, and the only way you're going to have contact with him is through letters.
Did you post a paperclip and then the farmer emoji?
You're going to get pictures in jail, in prison, of your little boy growing up.
There you go. There you go. Like, cops are messed up, bro. They manipulate so much. But again, you're using bad guy tactics to catch a bad guy. So I get it. But yeah, he's like, yeah, your kid's going to be in jail. And then he's going to get... we're not going to throw you in jail. We'll just throw your kid in as well. And he'll become a crack addict in jail.
He's going to grow up with his grandparents, maybe?
Pyro saying that made me realize I like men.
Pyro saying that made me realize I like men. We lost another one, boys.
Maybe Matthew's grandparents, maybe Matthew's parents, maybe somebody else will try and take him away from them. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. No, we're not saying we're going to take your kids away from you, okay? You got to start thinking long and hard who you have loyalty to. If Josh screwed up, he screwed up. That's not on you. But anything you know about that, we need to know about. He messed this up. He did this. He did
Thank
this.
you, Hollow Light, for 7 months.
And I don't want to go in there and have them tell me that you told him to go do it. Do you understand this?
Bro's actually setting them up against each other. Holy.
This whole thing. I'm talking about everything.
It's like in Fallout when I complete a quest the bad guy and then I just pickpocket the reward off him anyway.
As you may have noticed, the detectives haven't mentioned...
I've done that so many times in Stalker 2, by the way. I will hand in an item for a quest to someone. They'll give me a reward, I'll kill them, and then take the reward and then give it to the intended guy anyway. Playing both sides against each other.
...the murders yet. They've been keeping it as open as possible in the hope she will volunteer the element herself.
We can't do this anymore. Now's the time. Tell us what he did. So you can look at your son and say, I did the right thing in the end. What did he do?
He clip farmed.
We need to know.
I don't want to go to jail. I don't
Tell
want
us, listen, you have to trust us. Okay?
I don't want to get in trouble.
Dude, just put your hand on her lap at this point, man. Look how much she's reaching over. But yeah, he's getting them to snitch on each other, which is kind of funny. That's where they always do this when there's like 2 partners and stuff involved.
We know you didn't do this. We know you didn't.
Because they can, like I said, they can lie. The only thing you do when you go into one of these rooms is say, lawyer, no comment, lawyer, no comment. Because they don't give a shit if you're innocent. They don't care. They just want a conviction because it looks good for them. They imagine the amount of people they see in that interrogation room every week. And it's like, another one. More slop for the trough. Like, they don't care. They don't care. If they've been given evidence that they believe that you're guilty, they just want to squeeze a confession out of you.
Get in trouble for any of this.
What did he
Nothing to do with
What
me.
did he do?
I want Saul Goodman!
I don't know the severity of what he did.
And there we have it. What appeared to be the brink of a very compelling confession wasn't. Amelia remains obtuse while subtly trying to bargain for some type of clemency, and this repeats itself for the next 3.5 minutes until the lead detective decides that he's had enough.
Yeah, she's being very clever here. She's trying to basically get some kind of immunity. She's like, I don't want to go to jail. Ooh, like, you know, they're using kind of like baby terms for it. Not, can I get immunity? Because if you say you want immunity, that implies something bad's happened, right? But she's like, oh, I don't want to go to jail.
He will now reveal the extent of the investigation's evidence and get to the real reason why she's sitting in this interrogation room.
Your son used his credit card to buy V-Bucks.
They're dead. So now we really need to talk. Okay?
Yep.
How did they die?
Oh.
Wait,
It's always the It's always the what? They died? I had no idea. What? Murder? I saw this one video of a woman being murdered. A woman being arrested for murdering, I think, her husband. And she's like, oh, he's been murdered. What? I had no idea.
Listen. If there's anything that you know about this,
Saying she's clip farming is crazy.
okay? Now is the time, okay? Because let's
Just it's like the word grifter. It's just lost all meaning. It doesn't. Clip farming does not mean anything now. It's like an interesting moment is now clip farming.
listen to me.
Yeah, PewDiePie got married 3 years ago. Yeah, he was clip farming.
Listen to me. You're all over their stuff talking to them. You took money from their father. This was not an amicable, let's talk about this.
no, of course, yeah. I don't. That.
Watch the video where the wife sets up the husband, but it turns out the assassin was an undercover cop. Yeah, I saw that one. That was awful. She started selling T-shirts in the courtroom to like gain sympathy because it was going to charity. That was just awful.
Whoa.
She tried any way to gain sympathy from people.
This is how you get in trouble for murder.
Me?
Okay? Yeah, let me explain it to you, okay? Let me explain it to you. This is how you get in trouble for it, okay? If we find out in any stretch of the imagination, in any way, shape, or form, that you're providing some type of alibi
What does that
to
mean?
Josh, that you're telling us he was somewhere where he wasn't, that you're lying to us about where he was, what you know, what you don't know, about the gun, about any of it. If we find that out, guess what you become?
I don't know.
You become a principal. Principal to homicide in the first degree.
I don't want to go to jail. I didn't do anything. So, if whatever you guys need to know, I can tell you as
Yes,
much
we
as I
need to
know.
know. We need to know
Ooh.
what Josh did. We need to know. And
She almost worded it like she's offering to snitch. That's not good.
anything that you know about it, you need to tell us.
Airplane mode tier acting.
Airplane mode tier acting. Just Logan Paul sat in the chair. I think there's someone hanging right there.
Okay. You need to
I've seen all these memes of Logan Paul going around TikTok, by the way. Like, they'll play really famous clips, and then they'll just...
BTW, she confessed to me in freshman. She's known to be the nicest girl in school as well as the most popular girl in school. But then she blocked me. She motivated me to keep going. After we graduated last year. She was 6 feet tall. BTW.
Holy boast.
THX for noticing Pyro.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, Brian. Thank you for the 10. Yeah, I think it's just best to... Okay, let me try and say this in like a nice way. There's plenty more fish in the sea. You know? Like, it sucks. It sucks that she blocked you. I'm sorry that happened. I have no idea the reasoning or the context. But at the same time, that you have so many more opportunities to get with other girls. Apart from her. Like, don't stunlock yourself just by focusing on one person. Like, that does not mean, like, it's so easy to do that, and I get it as well, the whole fixed mindset thing. But like that bit I did earlier, that there's so many more options available out there for you, man.
This is the time right now. All right? You got to understand that. Okay? What did he tell you?
My biggest thing right now is
Saying there's always bigger fish means so much more to Pyro if you think about it. All right.
I need to know that I'm going home.
This is one of the few things police can't actually lie about. They can't make promises with respect to sentencing in exchange for compliance, as this would render an interrogation inadmissible. They can...
Pyro, when did you become a therapist to chat? When he gave me $50. When he gave me $50.
divert and deflect from the element to avoid shutting it down altogether, but they absolutely must not substantiate it as a guarantee.
I need to know that I'm going to see my son. I need to know that I have no part of this whatsoever.
If you listen, you don't want me to go in there and him tell me, guess what? I went over there. She gave me the address. She told me to go over there and take care of the problem. Do you understand that?
Oh, it's one unfunny guy starting a chain, okay.
What if he says that?
I didn't do anything. I didn't even know
Right,
that you
so
oh
listen.
my God.
Listen, I was just going where she told me to go. All right? She told me this is all her idea. And again, this is what I'm saying. You got to wonder, if he's put his hands on you and if he's done things to you in the past, do you think he's got any loyalty to you whatsoever? Or do you think I have a problem putting you squarely in the middle of this?
I
Breaking them apart is wild, man.
do not want to go to jail. I don't. Like, if I get fired, okay, let me get fired at work, but I don't want to go to jail.
Accessory to homicide, I don't want to get fired.
We need to be able to go to them and say she's completely 100% honest and truthful with us. We didn't have to give her a polygraph. We didn't have to do any of that stuff because she told us everything, okay?
And then if I do tell you...
Polygraphs can't be used for conviction, though. Can they be used for conviction anywhere? I don't think they can, right? It's just a psyop tool. It's like, oh, you failed it. And they can even lie about the polygraph, by the way. They can just say, like, yeah, you failed.
Everything. No, I promise I'm not going to go to jail.
Again, we can't make you promises, but what we can say is...
The investigator is clutching at straws trying to navigate this element, literally. He will now provide a very generic compromise which Amelia will immediately see through, and in exactly 2 seconds, she will shake her head, as if to
Thank you, finger, for the 7 months.
Say,
no deal.
What we can absolutely say is she was 100% truthful with us. She was remorseful. She didn't leave anything out. She told us. Now, Detective Mareshi and I are not going to sit here right now and say you're being 100% completely honest with us. There's stuff that's eating at you. It's bothering you. Right?
Bro thinks he's Count Frollo. What is this? Trying to, like, rizz up this girl. What are you doing? That was terrible, by the way that was worded. That was awful. That was like, oh, well, you know, we can get you, like... He didn't even say immunity, but he basically implied it.
Eating at you. There's things that you know that you want to get out, but you're just scared.
Yes, I'm scared.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's something we're going to have to work through, okay?
Just gets a call from his wife, just picks it up. Hey, honey. How are you? I'm rizzing up someone in the interrogation room. I have to call you back.
Well, we can work through that stuff.
Amelia takes the advice and tries to work on her issues.
I want to know that I'm not going to go to jail. Like, that's what I want to know. I didn't do anything. I didn't conspire anything. I'm not.
Are we rewatching the same clips over and over, or are they just stun locked? Like, what's happening? Thank you, Halcyon, for the 28 months.
My intention.
I remember having to go to an interrogation room when I was younger. The manipulation almost flies over your head. Yeah. Without the post narration from this, yeah, definitely.
Is not to hurt anybody.
Listen to me for just a second, because we can't promise you what's going to happen to you, but I can tell you well, the one thing I can guarantee you is if you withhold this information.
Dude, this AC needs to kick in. Like, I'm actually shaking how cold I am right now.
Or if you lie about it, you're not just going to go to jail. You're going to go to prison for a very, very long time.
Which I don't want to go to either or. I don't want to do either
Tell this man everything you know. Tell the truth.
Who is this guy? That guy's like the lawyer from Five Nights at Freddy's. Like, why are you here? He said nothing the entire time. They do this in, like, sponsors, by the way. If you're a YouTuber trying to have a sponsor, they always try to get, like, 2 people in the call to, like, kind of, like, just gang up on you. It's so weird. It's almost like just an enforcer kind of thing. Like, you'll always have 2 people in a call, and one guy will just say nothing.
Truth, and it starts from there, Amelia.
Okay. When she had called me about the whole situation.
She repeats how her conversation went with Cynthia.
And then she told me on Friday that she was going to go into the branch. I told her if she wants to come, she can come and see me on Friday. And I haven't heard from her since.
She's still given the detectives absolutely nothing they can use, so they reinstate the pressure.
You don't want to be wrapped up in this. You don't, you didn't do this, okay? He's bringing this on you. You understand what I'm saying? He's bringing this on you. So I don't think there's a loyalty to him. I don't think you're worried about telling us what he did. I don't think that's that. Am I right in that? I mean, you're not worried about telling us what he did.
I don't care about him.
Right.
At this point,
okay. That's kind of where I'm at too.
See, like, she's got self-preservation, but she doesn't want to snitch on him. If she snitches, she's then culpable because she knows, right? So she's just playing dumb and is doing, like, self-preservation first. He's trying to break through and be like, okay, we can protect you if you snitch on him. But he's not actually promising anything. They're just stun locked.
At this point, I care about
you're
myself.
in a self-preservation
You don't love your husband, ma'am.
mode. Okay,
Absolutely.
right.
I'm not,
So
I don't
understand something.
I don't want to go to jail.
She played a Telltale game. Yeah, they just had the little thing on the top left. The interrogator will remember this.
You're going to have a journey ahead of you. Okay?
Of course.
And again, it starts here and it starts now. And it's
How long do I stream? It's all over the place. I'm doing like 5.5 hours today, maybe 6. Other days I'll stream 2. Yeah, it's all over the place.
starts with how you want to see this journey through. Okay, you did some wrong stuff. You made mistakes. Nobody's going to crucify you for that. Okay, you're a young woman. You're a smart woman. I think you're in a volatile relationship with somebody who treats you very badly.
Wow.
You're in a relationship where he manipulates you, it sounds like. It sounds like he puts his hands on you. You're in a bad spot. You have your child.
He's really trying to hit every pressure point, hoping that there's something. Like if there's any kind of bad things happening privately, like abuse or anything, he's hitting every pressure point.
Amelia starts giving away more information, starting from the morning after the victims were killed.
When he got home the next day, he came home like around 9 o'clock.
Don't get it twisted, by the way. I'm not sympathizing for her. I'm not, because it's so easy to feel like you are. Even though she obviously has done something bad, she's been, like, accountable in this. But yeah, it's just the tactics the cops use is crazy.
My mom was with me on...
But they have to do it. But again, like, if you're someone in an interrogation room, if you don't say lawyer, no comment, you're cooked. Because they don't care about your side of the story. They just want convictions.
Out of my house, and we were trying to figure out, like, where was he, what was he doing. He was nervous when he got home.
Okay.
He was really nervous.
And that's the extent of what she says. She acts like she's beginning to cooperate, then just doesn't. And it's become a pattern at this point.
Are you telling us the truth that when you walked in this room, you had no idea those 2 people were dead?
No, I had no clue.
Okay.
I just want to know. I want to go home. That's all I want to do.
Explain your deal with Sweden. I go to Sweden every couple of months because it's a really nice country. And then it just caught on as a bit, basically, because if you read between the lines, you'd see I'm a huge Sweden shill.
I want to go home.
And so then Wednesday, after he dropped Julian off, did he go to work on Wednesday?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Did you work that day?
I did. I worked all week. I didn't call out until today. Today's my first day I called out.
Okay.
For this month.
Well, Josh is here. Okay, and you're at least gonna have to stay here till we're done talking with him.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want anything to eat? We got a snack bar down there.
I'm not hungry. My stomach is just...
If you do, just knock on the door. Okay.
Can I use the restroom?
Byro, my tummy is so gassy from the 2 double cheeseburgers I had for dinner earlier. with some dirty fries on the side and a large Fanta to top it off. Oof, my intestines are so bloated with gas, send help.
Keep going. I'm almost finished.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, am I done or?
Well, we have some more talking to do. 48 hours, 28 hours, that concludes this interview.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Will I be able to go home later today?
No. Keep going, please. I was so close. Please keep going.
We're gonna have to see. We're interested in seeing what Josh says.
Do I just sit in here?
Yeah. Like, so we'll get somebody to take you.
I do like the mental illness of you've just made me realize the mental illness of what I commission, despite the fact in real life I try to work out and eat as healthy as possible. It's peak illness.
In the bathroom, and like after that, in the meantime, just knock on the door.
This is obviously not the last you'll see of Amelia, and you're now about to see the opening phase of her husband's interrogation, who unbeknownst to her had been waiting in the room directly adjacent for just over 2 hours. The detectives will enter his room 18 minutes after they left Amelia's.
Oh, thanks. Hey, how you doing? Josh?
Oh, yeah.
Cold?
It is cold in
Well,
here.
that water's a little warm, so that might warm you up a little bit.
Geez. Yeah, it's cold in here.
I can't tell if this guy needs a raise for his manipulation or he needs to be fired straight away. It's cold in here. You don't want a hoodie. You don't want a blanket. Have this warm water. The warm water will heat you up. What in the skibbity?
All right, Josh, well, you know, we can explain to you what's going on.
It just says, all right, motherfucker, we know what you did.
I'm sure you want to
Pyro,
know.
please don't revert to daily slop again. I've got kids to feed and furry artists to commission. Please, sir, make US high quality slop, sir. Oof, feels bad, man feels bad, man feels bad, man feels bad, man feels bad, man.
I don't know if we'll go back to daily slop. Maybe every other day slop.
Got a couple things we need to go over first.
We got a video out tonight about the South Korea situation, which is truly insane.
Before we do that. So you have the right to remain silent, do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. Has anyone threatened you or promised you anything to get you to talk to me?
No.
Okay. Okay. You know, I don't know. Let me ask you this question. I'm going to throw this out to you. Why do you think you're sitting here right now?
I honestly have no idea.
No idea?
No idea.
Okay. Have you... Well, let me ask you this question. What was the last bank account that you opened?
This is an indirect confrontation about the theft. The context is that he recently opened an account for Amelia's son Julian at Bank of America, which is where they hid the 50 grand.
Bank of America.
Okay. In whose name?
In my name and Julian's name.
Okay. Tell me about that.
He explains the process of opening an account for a minor at Bank of America. He mentions nothing of the stolen money and continues to act oblivious. The investigator doesn't confront him. He instead sharply switches the discourse to a more threatening element. You'll notice this interrogation moves at a much faster pace than the one you just saw.
Do you want a firearm?
I did. I actually bought one last week, Monday.
The detectives already knew this, so he does the smart thing and volunteers the information, but also feels the need to immediately clarify how there is no possible way for that gun to have been involved in any shady activity since its purchase. So Josh's explanation is that he drove halfway up a bridge while he was in Daytona and threw it off.
And you threw it off the overpass?
Yeah.
My favorite lesbian femboy twink brapper slopper. How much for you to restart the video? I fell asleep. $5,000. I did not just pull that number out my ass. That is a calculated decision to have to go through all this again.
Was it all in one piece?
Yeah. All in one piece.
What caliber is that gun?
I think it was a 9mm.
Oh my god, I thought he just gave 5k. Jesus. I was like, please don't. I do not want to start this video again.
Pyro, you don't understand just how much gas in is this tank. My tummy is positively rumbling with the forced bowel movements. My belly welly is stretched to its absolute limit. It's gonna burst at any moment now. Swedish gas.
What kind of ammunition did you put in it?
I didn't have any ammunition inside it.
Thank you for the 10.
You didn't have any ammunition inside of it?
No.
Did you buy ammunition for it when you bought it?
No.
Well, I just get a little confused. So, explain to me your reasoning again as to why you threw this gun off this pier.
I had a real,
Or
I guess
overpass.
a relapse of what happened to me.
What Josh meant to say here is that he had a flashback, and what he's talking about is the fact that he accidentally shot himself in the leg with his own gun while getting out of the car to go bowling. And now everyone calls him Cheddar Bob, the fictional character in the 8 Mile movie who also accidentally shot himself in the leg with his own
Cheddar
gun.
Bob.
I was like,
Cheddar Bob. What a ridiculous name. If I didn't know the connotation to the film, I'd be like, where did that name come from?
some shit happens again by accident.
I guess that's where I get a little concerned. Well, my thing is, you guys are kind of hurting for money. Sounds like. I mean, you're working now, but
Yeah, I'm working now, so things
So
are.
you spent $250 in cash on this gun.
Yeah.
It's a pawn shop.
Mm-hmm.
Pawn shops are pretty good. I mean, usually you can go back and pawn it.
Yeah.
You can buy a gun from a pawn shop? Really? Like, I'm not America coded at all. What do they ask at a pawn shop? Just ID? And a license, I'm guessing? You do need a firearm license, right, in America to own a gun, right? It's not just ID. Surely. It's not that bad. Thank you, Poween, for the month.
Yeah,
Bad,
but
right?
I was like, that
They background check you? Well, that's just if you've committed a crime, right? That's it. Like, if you haven't committed a crime, easy clap, right?
at that very moment, I was like, anything could fucking happen, and I'm like,
But it's not loaded.
it wasn't loaded. Yeah.
So right down there, you got basically a paperweight.
Yeah.
So it's not dangerous to you at that point in time.
Mm-hmm. But for me, mentality-wise, I wasn't thinking like that. I just threw it.
Why is he rubbing one out? No, I'm literally shaking because I'm so cold. Like, this AC is just not... I'm hoping it kicks in. I mean, I can feel the warm air, but it's going to take like 5 minutes to fill up the whole room.
Josh, listen.
Mm-hmm.
We're here for something very, very serious, okay?
Okay.
Let's walk through this a little bit, okay?
Mhm.
What are we missing?
Nothing that I know of. I mean, told you guys where I was, what I was doing. I mean, you could check our phone records too. We've been fighting for a long time.
Well,
The reason he gave for being in Daytona was because he was fighting with Amelia, which is what he just referred to. But of much greater interest and perceptibly out of nowhere, the detective will now initiate the confrontation.
explain this to me, okay?
Mm-hmm.
How is it that you wound up at Cynthia's house, Cynthia's apartment? Over on
It depends
Jefferson?
on the
Because
state
I
for
have-
firearms, but most places you just need to fill out a form saying you haven't committed a crime and give an ID that then ties that firearm to you in the ATF database. If you don't buy it from a business, you don't need to do that.
That's crazy. Like, I know guns have serial numbers and stuff like that, but yeah, just the fact, like... Because if you're someone that just snaps, right? You snap. And you don't have any past convictions, you could just buy a gun. Genuinely. There's nothing that's wild. I mean, I get it. Like, I'm from the UK. The police arrest people with mean words. But yeah, damn.
Witnesses.
I mean, I remember going to like places in Europe, and then all the police that walk around, they just have like guns, just walking around with them. Like, we have like special firearms units in the UK that are called out for like terror attacks and stuff, but they're not like patrolling around. You'll see like police walking around airports with like guns, but it's not a common thing to see them walking around.
They put you there.
I was never at her place.
Okay. All right.
Notice how he didn't inquire into who Cynthia is or why she was even brought up in the discussion. He just immediately denies the very sudden and seemingly random allegation. But more to the purpose, you'll have noticed how the detective hasn't outright accused him of murder, only placed him at the scene.
I mean, I've fired guns before. I think I did it in Poland, and then I did it in Sweden as well. Like, guns are fun, you know. I've said this before, but like, shotguns have such a tight cone that they just don't have in video games. Like, video games make shotguns so inaccurate because they're just that overpowered.
This is because he's about to provide Josh with an escape route, a morally acceptable explanation as to why he would be there. He's basically trying to get one foot in the door and attain the first level of admission.
Listen to me. You were there. Well, I need to know why you were there. You understand what I'm saying? If there's some innocent reason, I need to know.
If you're cold, put the merch back on that you threw during Rat Shakeout. Oh my god, you're a genius. Are you, by any chance, talking about this merch? It's available on pyrocynical.store, this merch? Are you on about this merch? this Christmas sweater that you can buy right now on pyrocynical.store. Are you this merch that I'm wearing? Oh my god. Wow, that merch right there. I will purchase that right now. Crazy. Thank you so much for the recommendation. Pyro's done it again. Great quality and sizing. I know this is my website, but that looks like a bot comment. Is that a real person? I shouldn't be saying that. That's my merch.
But I need to know why. So why did you go there? Did you go there to tell them that you were going to pay him back?
This is the face of someone falling for the oldest trick in the book, on the very first attempt. You're about to see him seize what he believes to be the unique opportunity to save himself, at the expense of his wife.
No, okay. Can we clear this whole thing out?
What's up?
Okay. So, Amelia was freaking out.
Mm-hmm.
Long story short, I did chuck my gun over the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that.
Okay.
The next 2 minutes of footage has also been cut out. What you need to know is that Josh has now conceded to knowing about the fraud, and that he did in fact go over to Cynthia's house on the day in question, but only to let her know they would be paying her back, which you might recall was the exact reason afforded to him by the detective. The rest of what he spoke on will now be relayed back to him.
If I'm understanding you right, you're saying Amelia is the one that...
Why are they cutting out footage though? That concerns me, like, because they'll happily show 20 minutes of a guy waiting in a room and nothing happening. But why do they cut out 2 minutes of a conversation?
Talk to somebody to take care of them?
Yeah, and I don't
Why?
know. I have no idea.
Well, I mean, how do you know that?
Well, there was a kid that came to our house.
What's his name?
J something. I don't know his phone. I have...
Any word on Secret Corgi's refunding commissions? When I last talked to her, she's still looking at doing it, yeah.
I've seen him once at my house.
So...
Doing it or, like, finishing the art for people?
So you... Amelia's so scared about this and worried about this. And you explain to me. So who kept on calling her and wouldn't leave her alone?
I think it was the same Cynthia lady. I didn't ask any questions. She said,
Cat, what should I get to eat from DoorDash? I'm really hungry and I need to fill my belly up to live up to Pyro's ideal obese body shape. I'm thinking of something that can give me the stinkiest and loudest farts for Daddy Pyro to sniff.
Why did the fart cut off?
Hey Neil,
Why did
me
it cut
and
off?
my cat watch your streams all the time, and I want you to know we both hate your fucking guts.
That was the nicest donation I've ever received. Thank you, Effin, for the 10. I'm going to throw your cat out the window.
calling me. She said one of Gerald's families. I said, okay, that's fine. Then some kid came up to our house like 11 o'clock at night.
Heartwarming donor.
She gave him $10,000 to what?
I have no idea. And from my understanding...
What do you think she gave him $10,000 for?
To kill him or something. I don't know. I have no idea.
When did you find out about this? Before?
Yeah.
Unlucky Josh. Wrong answer. You just...
Unlucky. I don't know why, like having the JCS narrator say the word unlucky, there's just something so good about that. Unlucky.
told on yourself in your own made-up story, and you're going to jail no matter what. But the detectives really won't care about this, because they want to send him to jail forever.
Actually, unlucky.
Not just a few years.
I think it was Saturday or Sunday.
The Saturday or Sunday before you went over there on Tuesday?
Mm-hmm.
Josh's imagination goes on for another 6 minutes. The detective doesn't even bother following up with questions. He just goes straight back to confrontation.
If it's something that got out of hand versus something that you planned, that's a whole different ballgame. You understand what I'm saying? If you plan this out, that's a bad thing. But if it got out of hand, if you went back just to try and talk, and it got out of hand, that's a whole different ballgame. You understand what I mean? Okay? That changes everything. But I don't know that until I hear it from you. Right now, this all I know is what we have.
The detective will now accelerate the pressure over the next 43 seconds. You will notice he is very good at conveying tone. It's not just what he says, but the way he says it. And you're about to see this have an effect on the suspect.
Like I said, this isn't going to go away. And this is going to be something that's going to eat at you. It's going to eat at you until we get it out.
Oh my god. Confess, please, confess. Confess. If you confess, we'll take the worms out.
I'll tell you right now, let's not go back. She didn't, we're gonna figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Now's your time to say, you know what, this got out of hand. I'm sorry. You understand what I'm saying? Remorse goes a long, long way. What, you know, what happened?
Imagine talking to an actual sociopath or psychopath like this, and it just bounces off them. It's like, yeah, I don't care. I don't care.
Let's work through this.
I just don't want to get nobody else in trouble.
Okay.
What Josh means here is that he doesn't want to get anybody else in trouble other than his wife, and he very much associates
Thank you,
himself with
Week
the
2 for
category
joining.
of anybody else. He still really doesn't want to get into trouble. All that's happened here is the detective was applying an effective variation of pressure, and the suspect crumbled like a deck chair, well and truly folded like an overcooked noodle, and he now feels like he has to act like a good person. So he starts providing details with a profound demeanor as if he's unveiling something significant. But you'll notice that nothing changes with regard to his culpability, and his intention of implicating Amelia to save himself has not changed in the slightest.
That's not really good shooting.
Too many red arrows. There weren't enough. I needed more red arrows to be told what's going on.
I mean, if you
Because
love
I'm
Amelia,
scared.
listen, if you love Amelia, you're gonna put her under the bus? You don't want to do that, do you?
I'm just scared for everybody
I
else.
know you're
that's-
scared. I know you're scared.
I didn't throw the gun away.
Okay, tell me.
I left there
The red arrows are the yellow paint of JCS videos.
at maybe 10 something.
Mm-hmm.
But before I left,
Mm-hmm.
the same guy that Amelia, I guess Amelia paid him. The same guy came up to my car.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I wanted to talk to her to get the money back." And he's like, "Oh, Amelia or Jay sent me here." I'm like, "Sent you here for what?"
I hate how that sentence has just been ruined forever, man.
And he was like, he had a gun to my head.
I'm not saying it.
And he said, he's like, "I know you have a gun. Give me your gun and leave." I left. I went to Alchemy. I didn't throw the gun over the pier. He had the gun. I went back to Alchemy. I drove to Daytona. Came back home at like 5:30 in the morning.
Crazy idea. I think law enforcement doing this stuff is fine. But I think them being able to lie to you without repercussions is absurd and disgusting. Well, I talked about earlier. It's like they have to use incredibly manipulative tactics because they're dealing with manipulative people that have self-preservation above everything else.
Can you get your mods to unban me? I promise to be a good little piggy for you.
I love you.
Thank you, Annan, for the 10. I have no idea why you got banned, but unlucky.
And that was it.
Josh. Why did you put a gun in your head and take your gun?
I don't know. All I know is Amelia paid them $10,000.
Damn.
Hey Pyro, been going through a really rough patch in life right now. Broke up with my longtime partner after nearly 3 years and have found a lot of comfort in your vids, keeping me distracted and mind busy. Thank you and keep up the amazing work.
Thank you, Ben, for the kind words. Thank you for the 10, man. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate it.
I don't know why she paid them.
Josh. You know you're making this hole that much bigger. You know that. That doesn't make any sense to anybody.
Josh,
Okay.
you're a little...
You're telling porcupines.
No.
You can't lie in the
How would these people
interrogation
know where to
room.
Find you, and then all of a sudden they found you and took your gun. To do what? To frame you? You know who throws a gun over a bridge? And that's what I really think happened to this thing.
I've actually heard people in Gmod RP when they get put in the metal cage by an admin have better excuses than what this guy's throwing out right now.
He threw the gun over the bridge. We know you went to Daytona because we got the receipt and everything else that you went to Daytona. We know you got gas over there. All right? What makes more sense is, well, I mean, you threw a gun because you used it.
No.
Yes. Josh, when people come in here and tell us, I was driving around for a little while and I can't remember where I went, or I don't, you know, that we know, I know exactly what's going on there, okay? And for you not to tell us that you went to that apartment, there's a reason why, all right? So again, this is not to figure out who, it's to figure out why. And this is your time. This is you. This is you.
We've talked to Amelia already.
The suspect is sticking to his new storyline, so just like with Amelia, the second detective will engage him from a different angle.
And we asked her, who's the most important person in Josh's life? And
I think the biggest defense you can have right now is just, nuh-uh, not me.
I would assume it's me. And I said, he's not going to do or say anything that's going to jeopardize your future, right? And she goes, I wouldn't think so. So when I asked Amelia who's the most important person in her life, what do you think she said?
Me.
Yeah. And
we presume this falsehood was intended to evoke a sense of empathy from Josh towards his wife, perhaps with the hope that it would motivate him to protect her, and as a result start being honest. But all it seems to do is bolster his confidence in his new fantasy novel.
Officer, you weren't there.
You're over here saying that she paid somebody to kill these people.
Yes.
So my thing is that...
I'll tell you right now, straight up, I was there. My gun was taken from me by some black guy that said he knows Jay. Amelia gave him $10,000.
Why are you Irish? Couldn't you have just been normal?
That's a good point, actually. I'm still going to throw your cat out the window, though.
One of you is a really awful person. You know, someone is letting their spouse go to prison for the rest of their life for something that they did. Is it you or her?
I didn't. I don't have a bone in me to kill anybody.
Okay.
So, I'm trying to figure out how they took the gun from you. Explain that. Walk me through that.
Okay.
Officer, she's a female manipulator. She listens to Lana Del Rey.
I was sitting in my car.
Hey, Pyro, been a big fan since Leafy era. Still remember that hermaphrodite kid. Keep pumping those videos daddy wants slop.
Thank you, Stasia, for the 10. Appreciate it, man.
In front of their apartment.
What time?
Nuh-uh.
This
Thank
was
you, bad guy, for the 10.
10 something.
Before, okay.
And
Your Honor, she's
they said they
trolling.
were
She's
sitting
trolling
there
me. She's
around the
throwing.
corner.
She's throwing, Your Honor.
Since
Who
God
said
knows
that?
the same guy.
How did you know that?
I don't know.
What do you don't know?
What do you mean? How do I know?
Well, they said they were sitting around the corner. How did you know that?
He told me, he was like, we were watching you. We see you talking to this lady. What's going on? Did you tell her that Jay, you spoke to Jay? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I came to talk to this lady to try to resolve an issue. And he put a gun to my head and he said, I know you have a gun on me. I don't know how he knew I had a gun on me in the first place. He took my gun and he said, leave.
What did that guy look like?
Probably 6'5".
That's a rather unambiguous height for a professional hitman. You would think they would sort of need to blend in, but that's probably why his rates were so cheap.
Bald black guy. All
Not
black clothes.
like African American?
Yeah.
You know what? I mean, if I may, you know what I see? I see somebody who's trying to explain the disappearance of a gun, and see, the only reason we would explain the disappearance of the gun is because it was used in something. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Josh,
I'm telling
no, listen, hold on a second. Why on earth would this guy need to come up to you? Okay? First of all,
Are they both guilty, or is there only one of them? I think the guy did the murder, and she was also culpable as well, because she knew about it, because it was all for money. So, and what they're basically trying to do is just get them to, like, report on each other.
well,
It's the same guy.
no,
that-
listen, you want to say that they happen to be there at the same time you were now, okay? They just happened to be there at the same time you were, and he happened to know that you had a gun, and he happened to put a gun to your head and take your gun away from you. That's what you want people to believe. Does that, I mean, just listening to it said by somebody else, does that make a lot of sense to you? Why does he need your gun? Why?
I don't know. All I know is
He had a gun.
I went there at between 3:30, 4 o'clock-ish. Talked to her. I
Talk
come
to her.
out. I
This actually looks like an AI video, right? Because it's so low quality.
go and sit in my car. I'm vaping. I have my window down.
And a very tall black guy takes his gun at gunpoint, while being courteous enough to provide a thorough explanation of why he's doing so. You've heard it before, as have the investigators. So they close out the initial phase of Josh's interrogation.
All right. We'll be back in just a minute then. We're going to go talk to her some more then.
Time is now approximately
Can I have
16:30
a
hours.
blanket or something?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I think my one partner tried to find you one.
It's cold.
We now have to go back an hour and 40 minutes to begin Amelia's Phase 2, where Phase 1 left off.
Okay, so if you remember something, we'll listen.
"40 minutes go by with Amelia fidgeting with her nails, attempting to sleep, and pacing back and forth in the room. She then knocks on the door. The officer who made her arrest will now answer. It's apparent that he's built some level of trust with the suspect.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, is the two detectives there?
They're busy right now. I can
relay something to him, but it may be a little bit. What do you need?
Oh, no, it's fine. I'll let it go.
Okay. You want to talk to him though?
I'm cold and I just want to talk to them.
Okay. I will look for a blanket for you, and then I can't help you to talk until they're done. But I'll let me go get you a blanket. Okay?
Okay.
It's too long. I know you're cold.
Okay.
Hey, you need to talk to him.
I gave you a blanket. I have now built trust with you. You will now confess everything.
You need to get out from underneath this big time. Did I tell you who they work for?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're homicide detectives, so.
I know.
And they want you to be a witness, not a suspect.
Okay.
So the only way it's gonna happen is you gotta talk to him.
That's why I want to talk to them, because I just don't want to be involved in any of this. Like,
Okay.
I don't want any part of this. I want to be able to go home.
Okay.
This,
Do you know what happened?
I do.
What happened?
Well, it's about this whole check situation.
Well, we're not talking about the check situation. We're talking about the homicide part. What do you know?
My husband called these people. He pretended he was somebody else. He got their address and he went over there. All he kept saying to me is, I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it.
What did he tell you afterwards?
When he got home, he didn't really speak to me.
Okay, but eventually he told you what happened.
No, he didn't tell me that he killed anybody.
Where's the gun?
He got rid of it.
Where?
Someone in chat said 100 speech blanket.
Daytona.
How do you know?
He told me.
Okay, so he tells you he's getting rid of a gun, but he doesn't tell you he murdered someone. Did he tell you he murdered someone? See, that's the part you can't hold back from. Sweetie, I'm being honest with you. In fact, I have no...
If I say all of these things, will I get in trouble?
If you don't say any of these things, you're definitely going to get in trouble.
He didn't tell me he killed them. He said I handled the situation. It was,
Did he describe how, what?
He never physically said, like, what he did or if anything was done.
Did he say he shot him?
Well, I'm guessing he had a gun, so...
Don't guess. Did he tell you that he shot him?
Yes.
He said he shot him. Where did he go?
Oh, I don't know. He didn't say anything about
But he
that.
said he shot him.
Everyone's saying Hank Schrader just because a fat, bald guy in the police.
Okay,
And
and
then
then
he-
after... Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
He told me if I say anything, then he'll kill me too.
And this is after you knew he shot him.
He does not talk like Hank Schrader, guys. Come on. You cannot project like a fat, bald, white guy in the police and then just instantly say Hank Schrader.
Okay, well, you ain't got to worry about that. About him trying to hurt you. Because he's never going to see the light of day again.
He even sounds like him.
When they come back in here,
Okay, he does sound a bit like him.
everything. Okay?
I just don't want anyone to think that I didn't know that it was gonna, I didn't know that this was gonna happen.
Hi.
Why would
Hi,
you
Annan.
do
Thank you for the
something
10.
It's just like, why would you do something so stupid? It's just
Someone in chat said all it took was a blanket. Yeah, she actually she quilted. She quilted.
two innocent people. Like, it's just, like, why?
Don't worry about it. Listen, I'm going to get them. They're talking to someone right now. But I'm going to have them come here and talk to you, okay?
This is actually like when Hank is trying to get Skylar to confess.
And then put me in the middle of this. The child.
Don't worry. I'll be back in a minute, okay?
The detectives re-enter Amelia's room an hour later. It's been 12 minutes since they finished the first phase of Josh's interrogation.
Hey. All right, we'll see.
Okay. Got your blanket, huh? Okay, so Amelia, now, we were talking a little bit more. Josh, told you, I guess apparently when we first, you said...
Hank Schrader with the DEA told you after he gave you a blanket.
That day, okay? There's more information, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
She repeats what she told the arresting officer. The second detective will now clarify that Josh's main accusations are false.
So as we sit here right now,
Yes.
Josh telling us that you paid Jay Prasad to kill these people, that's a lie.
That's a lie.
And that's all they need from suspect number 1.
Server.
God, this is insane.
Oh, I thought he was just about to get up. It's like, yeah, we got the confession. Bye-bye.
I would agree with you.
Yeah. All right, Amelia. The time is now approximately 17:37 hours. That concludes.
Wait.
God, this is insane.
I would agree with you.
Yeah.
Oh, they actually wrapped it up 2 minutes later. No, they actually did the walkout. It's like, yeah, we got what we wanted. Bye-bye.
Amelia.
The time is now approximately...
Hank Schrader really upped his game since Breaking Bad.
I don't understand why I'm like...
Pete Honest, your game reviews inspired me to create my own review, and I've been making a script about Death Stranding. It'd be an honor if you would review it in future.
Thank you, Steger, for the 10. Yeah, good luck with that, bro. Because Death Stranding is a fat time commitment.
I understand that, but I don't want to go to prison for something I didn't do. For something I didn't have a part of. For something that I didn't...
Amelia, we're gonna have to try and figure that out.
I just wish you would tell the truth.
Oh. You and me both.
The detective
she's actually fully ratted on him. It's over.
Re-enter Josh's room 14 minutes later at 5:52 p.m. The other narrator...
Oh, dude. The Zeds. Come on, you're trying to... Okay, I get it, he's a murderer, but like, you are... That is a whole level of doing someone dirty.
Narrator will now be taking
me
you through the second phase of his interrogation.
Better?
Putting everything else aside, just imagine being Josh right now. One moment you're in dream...
Why is there a... Why is there a woman? I thought that was a dono. What the hell was that?
Can you do a review of your favorite commissions?
Thank you, AJ, for the 10. I don't think I can do that on stream.
Better?
Putting everything else aside, just imagine being Josh right now. One moment you're in dreamland, and the next you're jolted back into interrogation room reality, being asked if the blanket is helping with the cold by the guy who's controlling the thermostat.
Yeah.
Why was there a woman? Are they credited? No, there's no credit for that voice. Okay.
So obviously we want to follow up with you because, you know, we went back and talked to Amelia.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was like the Diane from Hitman or something. I was like, what the hell is that? Like, you wept for the 7 months. I just turned 23. I feel like my knees are giving out. Yeah, you gotta do some squats, man. Squats on the rack with the barbell.
And, you know, again, we're just trying to understand. She's saying one thing, you're saying another, and we think probably the truth's somewhere in the middle. You understand what we're saying?
Yeah.
I probably asked you this already, Josh, but when did you hear about this murder, about these people being killed?
Maybe, I think Wednesday, not even, I didn't even really, probably Thursday.
Okay, did you see their pictures or figure out who they were?
Yeah, I saw the pictures and I was like, holy shit.
And what did you think?
I was like, what the hell is going on?
Okay, did you ask your wife?
There's just something really ridiculous about him talking about murder, and he's just wrapped up in a blanket.
About what happened?
I didn't ask her anything.
Why not? I mean, to me, that would seem like a natural thing.
For me, well, I asked her, hey, did you talk to Cynthia? And she didn't answer me.
Did you ever tell your wife that you killed these two people, and if she said anything, you would kill her?
No.
And her whole family?
No. Never would have said that.
He's just a little guy. Couldn't hurt anyone.
Have you told us the truth today?
Yeah.
Okay. You initially lied about the gun.
I'll say that on recording. I'm scared as shit. I lied about the gun. But from when I left the house at about 3:30, somewhere around there, I got to Cynthia's house, knocked on the door. Sean answered the door, and I sat.
Why does he sound like the interviewer from Blade Runner? Oh, you mean the one who's just going like, cells interlinked.
And talk with both of them like they were
Hi
family.
Pyro. It's my second dono ever. And it's to you again. I hope you get it this time. I'm a big fan. Just keep doing whatever you like. I'll be happy as long as I get vids from you. Your 1% female fan. HHHH.
Thank you, Jay Noah, for the $20. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I actually have female fans. What the hell? 1% female fan. That's crazy.
Okay. But after I got done talking to them around 11 o'clock, I got in my car, sat down.
You smell for joining?
I was vaping in my car. The last apartment's here.
Right.
There's a dumpster here.
Yeah.
I was sitting in my car here vaping. He came from this way. Literally, like, I don't know where, blindside, because there was a white car parked next to me.
Right. Why did you decide to sit there and vape?
I was trying to get a hold of Amelia.
That's a femboy donating. Shut up.
And that's when he came up to my car and was like, yo, give me a piece. He saw my gun in the center console. And I froze. I couldn't move. I was like, listen. I was like, don't. He was like, oh, give me your piece.
Would you have expected your wife to say that you did this if you didn't do it? Are things that bad?
I mean, she said I forced her to get married. So,
but I mean, would she? I mean, she's basically sending you to prison for the rest of your life.
I would never expect that from her at all.
You gotta understand something here, okay?
Okay.
If you care about Julian at all, do you really care about that kid?
Yeah, I do. I love him like
Okay,
he's my own
so let's
son.
talk about the only innocent person in this whole thing, amongst you guys,
Correct.
is Julian.
Yes.
This little 7-year-old boy that you take to school every day, that you love like your own. You're willing to see his mother go to jail for the rest of her life, is what you're telling me. Because you're basically saying that she paid this guy Jay to go kill her and the grandson. Fine. If that's the way you want to go, then guess what? When she gets in trouble for it, she's going away. And then Julian grows up without a mother, okay? Now, I don't know about that, but to me, if that's not the case...
It's just, again, he's just wrapped up in his little quilt. His little quilt, just being accused of murder.
That's a really shitty thing to do.
I understand that.
And you're going to have to... Well, okay.
And that's why I'm telling you now.
Your Honor, my client's defense, he's baby.
If that's what it has to be, it has to be because for me, all I know is she gave Jay the money.
And you're saying these two people are dead because of it.
And I don't know if that's the reason why. All I know is Amelia...
How could you say you don't know that's the reason why?
I remember this day. I was
The blanket has been lowered. He is now in defense mode.
sitting on the toilet. She
I don't
said,
want to hear about you sitting on the toilet.
I'm going to talk to Jay.
Right.
He said, we've been watching you. We know why you're here. And I said,
okay.
What the fuck?
So
and I was vaping in
I'm too cozy to commit murder, Your Honor.
his hand. And I was vaping. And all I felt was something pressed against my head. I put my vape down, grabbed my gun, and I gave it to him.
He rambles for another minute before the detective sharply cuts him off and accelerates the pressure.
Thank you, TikTok voiceover.
Josh, it's just going to keep compounding, Josh. Compounding and compounding, and it's not going away. And I've told you from the beginning, if this is something that happened that got out of control, then we can understand it, and we can... That works. You got your back up against the wall.
If I tell you the truth, will Amelia get in trouble?
Huh?
If I tell you the truth, will Amelia get in trouble?
No, if you tell us the truth, no.
I don't want anything to happen to her or
Okay,
Julian.
we need this.
So just like in Phase 1, he's about to alter a minor detail in the narrative that changes absolutely nothing. But you have to appreciate his acting chops. Just get a load of this theatrical exhale in about 3 seconds.
We need you. She needs this. Julian needs this. What happened?
That Thursday night, she told me she's going to call Jay and have him take care of it. I just don't want to get her. I don't want her to get in trouble for this. I'll take them. Whatever it is you have to give to her, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Josh.
The exhale.
Hey Susan,
who's Oscar
what
baiting?
flavor vape do you think he was ripping before the murder?
Has to be blueberry, right? Has to be blueberry.
Hello Pyro. I heard you're a based Asahi drinker. Wondering what other drinks/beers you like? Really enjoying latest videos, keep it up man.
Thank you, Annan, for the $30. Holy, appreciate it, man. What other beers do I like? I don't drink beer too much, honestly. But Asahi's on top. If you can go to a place that has it on tap, it's baby.
If what you just said is really no different from what you've been telling us all day. I mean, that's...
Let's stack this all up, okay? Your gun's gone. We don't...
Someone said, why is there a floating head talking? I mean, it doesn't help that the blanket is the same color as the interrogation room.
know who took it. It just happens to be gone. The brand new gun that you bought. And you sat here for, what, 15 minutes telling us why you threw it over a bridge.
Josh looks pretty sad that his last piece of admission didn't have any effect. In about 30 seconds, he's going to try again, but up the intensity.
All right? Every time I keep pointing out something to you that just doesn't make sense, it keeps, you keep flipping it. You keep changing it, okay? That doesn't look good.
He's cracking his knuckles. He's getting angry.
All right?
The voice is so jarring. I mean, that's AI, 100%. I don't know why they swapped it out. Maybe he couldn't do the lines or something?
Who killed these people?
It had to have been Jay's people.
Is Jay that big of a guy? Does he have that kind of people?
He said he knows people.
What did he say? Let's talk about the conversation you had with him about what he was going to do.
It's kind of like he's auditioning for the next Star Wars movie, and he's about to rehearse the most breathtaking fucking...
You really had him in the blanket to hit him with that. To hit him with being the Jedi in the robe. JCS, you are doing people more and more dirty every day. That's crazy. Thank you, Steger, for joining.
Paragraph in the history of the franchise.
Just edit a little lightsaber next to him. It's got to be a red one, though, for a Sith.
That night, Amelia came back in the house.
The additional piece of detail he provides is that Jay originally asked Amelia for 25 grand, not 10.
So why would you say this before? I didn't want her, so she won't get in trouble if I tell you this. Why did you say that?
I don't want her to get in trouble for this.
Well, then tell us the truth. How about that?
That is.
He's talking like a toddler that got caught stealing a cookie.
Oh. Everything we've talked about, how could, well, why now? All of a sudden, you know, the gun going off the bridge, all these different...
JCS is just Among Us for adults. That could be the best, worst comment I think I've ever read in my life. JCS is just Among Us for adults. Wow. Wow, I hate the fact that it's kind of accurate as well.
Different things have not been the truth. Now all of a sudden you are telling us the truth. Why is that?
I just want to make things right.
No, I don't think you do.
Josh, I think you shot and killed these people.
Yeah. You have a big decision to make. You've already messed up as much as, and then you're going to let her go down. You really want to take her down with you? What do you have to gain? What are you going to get from taking her down with you? What? What is there to gain? Nothing.
You have an absolute motive, too, to have these people killed. You know, all those things add up to a circumstantial case for first-degree murder. And your answer to it is, this is her. She's driving this boat.
I am again reminding you about an airport for aliens run by dogs.
Thank you, one guy, for the 10. I will check that out eventually. I will, I promise.
I hate to say it, but she...
You know, again, like we said, one way or another, you got a lot to deal with.
Me explaining
Your
to the
story just
ward
doesn't make
why
any
3 of
sense.
their soldiers were found dead with all of their gear missing. They had 3 bullets and a bottle of vodka.
Thank you, Jamie, for the 10. Thank you, Cassie, for the 6 months.
And you know, for you, again, to take Amelia down, I guess I'm kind of, at this point,
I'm not
saying-
being selfish. My thing is, we've been together for 7 years, and I've done the world and back with this girl regarding her son, herself, with her baby daddy problems, and...
She says you're abusive, mentally and physically. So that's the picture that she's painting of you.
And that's not me. I mean, that blows my mind.
No.
That blows my...
Both.
Pyro with a vape. It's a brown pen. What are you smoking?
What you've said today blows my mind. I mean, there's just a lot of problems. A lot of problems. So we'll just have to see how it pans out.
What time is it now?
It's about 7 o'clock, Josh.
I would never expect her to say that about me. That's crazy.
Surprise ourselves sometimes.
He's done. He's washed. He's cooked. It's over. They just leave him in there to turn into a skeleton. So yeah.
There's something poetic about a husband and wife spending their last
Hey
several
Neil,
hours of...
you ever watched Street Beefs? Could be good for a stream.
I haven't. Thank you, F-Fan, for the 10. I might check that out.
freedom sitting just inches apart from each other, yet completely separated by a wall, betrayal, and the desperate need to save their own ass. Amelia cooperated with the police from this point forward and was sentenced to 3 years. The murder charges were dropped and she was only charged for the theft. Josh was taken into custody, where he was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder
Ooh. 3 years? Okay, let's see what he got.
and denied bond. He would see his wife again 3 years later at his trial, where she testified against him. It took just 10 days for him to be found guilty, and he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Oh! 3 years versus life. 3 years versus life. Oh, that's brutal. That is brutal.